All right. Yo, what up, guys? It's Asaph. Oh, can you do the tag thing real quick? You got it?
Oh, I sure can.
Hey,
It's Asaph.
thank you. All right, it's Asaph. Here, chilling. Toulouse, Falafel Phil's in the chat. And I just seen this video, Linus Tech Tips, how to build a karaoke setup. For you guys that don't know, I am a karaoke DJ, karaoke jockey, KJ technically. I host karaoke shows. It's my full-time job. It allows me to focus on stuff like this, make my own music. So he says how to build a karaoke setup that doesn't suck. Let me see this and react to it. See if he does a good job.
I hate karaoke. It's loud, it's dumb, and
Right away. What the fuck, Linus? What the fuck?
Yikes.
I hate. Who hates karaoke? You know what? Like, come on. All right, let's go.
already both of those things. Hey,
He's using Carafun right away,
It's such a good intro.
but look,
and he didn't even pay for the. You know, I mean,
it's not about me. Karaoke is beloved by millions of people,
That's
including
right.
my kids.
That's
so
right.
when my daughter asked for a karaoke machine for her birthday, well, what kind of father would I be if I said no? The kind
He's a
of father
good dad.
who
He is a
didn't
good dad.
want to navigate a nigh impenetrable wall of AliExpress junk and
right away. Your first mistake is going to Amazon. Right away.
AI-written reviews. To find a setup of reasonable price, high quality, and low complexity is a real challenge. But as we dug deeper, we found ourselves immersed in one of the most wholesome and dedicated communities on the web. So if you're like me, you may not love karaoke, but you may love rabbit holes. So grab a shovel and a mining helmet and start digging with me. But before we go,
It's time for the segue to our sponsor.
Course aesthetics.
I'm gonna skip that.
Check it out today.
Right away in the thumbnail, I saw he was using a Yamaha like GX, and I used to have that mixer. That's not a great mixer. It's not a great
here's
mixer.
my wants list. The system needs to be easy enough for kids to handle. Ideally,
Okay.
take advantage of speakers that I already own. It should have as few proprietary components as possible and be reliable and repairable, so nothing that's e-waste the second that I open the box. I would like it to have 4 inputs so that my kids can enjoy it with friends and family, but if I have to settle for
That
less,
would be ideal.
then
Yeah.
I will.
I got 4
In
mics
the last
for my
17
karaoke
days,
setup.
I have learned far more about karaoke machines than I ever cared to. We've come up with 3 solutions that meet Linus's criteria with varying levels of success. But it wasn't
There it is. Yeah, the Yamaha MG.
with 3 solutions that meet Linus's criteria with varying levels of
Yeah, the MG06. So I'm pretty sure that means it's got like 6 XLR inputs. But I literally, when I was getting my stuff together to start running my own shows, I went through this mixer and I heard the reverb, and I was like, this reverb is trash.
success. But it wasn't easy. At least on the English internet, there is surprisingly little good information out there about karaoke machines. Even Reddit, where there's a community for everything, was kinda dead. Honestly, the biggest problem though was the one requirement Linus didn't mention. He didn't want to spend a fortune on this, which pretty much eliminated a commercial grade setup with wireless microphones, so lowering our ambitions, we picked up a Yamaha MG06X.
Okay, yeah.
It's a nice, sturdy, and compact mixer that
Oh, it's
has
only
nice
got 2
vocal effects that can
XLRs.
go a long way to providing that karaoke bar feel.
So,
and a
wait.
compact mixer that
So he's got 4 mics, but he's connecting 2 to XLR and 2 through analog. I don't know, man. I don't know.
has nice vocal
Right.
effects that can go a long way to providing that
Nice vocal effects? That's an overstatement.
karaoke bar feel. And the mixer has virtually
Yeah,
no
that was-
noise.
Did
and
you
is
hear that? Did you
relatively
hear that
simple to use
reverb right there, dude?
for adults? We'll
Yeah.
get to that
Like a
later.
tin
First,
can.
what mics did we get? Quality? No.
Linus is always judging people's setups. I've seen Linus judge people's setups and stuff, so I'm gonna judge him heavily on this.
No offense to Linus.
It's for your kids, man. It's for your kids. You know, get that tap tempo delay.
Kids,
Get that.
is
You know
not
what I mean?
that important for karaoke. But what is durability.
Thankfully, Shure kinda nails both. While we could have gone with the perennial favorite, the Shure SM58, we decided to save some money and go with the entry-level PGA 48. It's all metal, sounds decent, but it's hampered by some obnoxious handling noise that might take some practice to avoid.
Yeah, Shure is pretty good. And if you're gonna, save some money and go for the Shures, PG58, I mean, if you're gonna get a wired one, you don't want it to sound like terrible. I mean, a lot of people don't like karaoke because it sounds terrible most of the time. That's why, you know, I'm a very good karaoke host and stuff, because I make it sound good. That's why my show thrives.
You'll
You know
also
what I
need
mean?
some practice hooking it up.
Oh, yeah.
XLR
So,
cables to plug this
no
into the
wonder
mixer,
you're gonna not
quarter-inch to RCA
like it
from
if
the
you're
mixer to the AV
definitely
receiver,
gonna put in
maybe some adapters.
this much effort into the sound.
Store.com. By the time we've got all the accessories we need, we're looking at a pretty hefty bill for our cable noodle salad down here. And we don't even have any extras like mic stands yet. But before we invest in those, we want to listen to the system. So let's just plug the mixer into the AV system, plug our computer into the
Toulouse, where you
HDMI
going?
port on the TV.
You're not gonna be in the frame.
and-
I'm turning the camera out.
Just kidding, just kidding.
You thought he was gonna do that? The output coming from this mixer should not be fed into your typical home audio setup.
The quick explanation is that your home audio equipment is designed to play finished files that are leveled and compressed and stuff like that, whereas the signal from microphones can have really loud peaks that can
Yep.
actually damage your hardware.
Yep.
It might not be super likely, but why risk it?
That's why we snagged this PA speaker from the office for testing.
It also gives us the option of running the music through the mixer into the PA.
That's one of those Sony speakers you can get at Best Buy. It is a PA speaker, but it's more like a show PA speaker. But for a little house setup, that's pretty decent. That's pretty nice.
Or we can have the vocals on the PA speakers with the music running through the home theater, which will reduce the total number of cables, but also make balancing levels a bit of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, don't
Another
do
benefit
that.
of the PA, though, is that we can move it to reduce the likelihood of feedback.
Which is great, but how are we gonna get music into the speakers? YouTube's a great place for tons of karaoke tracks, but it has a few problems. Queuing stuff is a bit tedious and quality varies greatly, and your favorite tracks might be ripped from your grasp at any moment if YouTube decides that they're not worthy.
Also, downloading from YouTube can be
Thankfully, there are other platforms like iCroons, which is the best name ever, or better yet, Karaoke Nerds, where you can find high-quality karaoke tracks for purchase or streaming, and you can even request karaoke versions of your favorite songs to be made.
That's pretty cool. Unless you're willing to
Or you can hit my business up. Oh, yeah. Oh, I shouldn't.
tip for their services, though, you're going to be waiting a long time for your song to be karaokefied. But you should consider doing that because thanks to these folks, the internet is full of bar-emptying hits from bands like Swans and Captain Beefheart. Is that I've never heard of them.
You've never heard of Captain Beefheart?
Anyway, I think it's time to show my kids. I've spent more than I intended, and
He spent $268. I've seen him spend more on like I've seen him spend more on like, you know, those other projects like where he made like that he took this box TV and put like all these consoles in it. That was way more than this. This is for your kids, Linus. You should be ashamed.
could have saved some money if we'd gone with
I'm
cheaper
just
stuff.
ripping on it.
But the good thing about it is this is mostly prosumer-grade audio equipment that should hold its value reasonably well. Let's try it out. Okay, guys.
That's another overstatement. That's another over. You've got like the entry level mixer right there and like the cheapest Shure mic you can get.
You know how sometimes someone gets a birthday present, but everyone kind of shares it?
Yeah.
That's happening. That means that you get to see first.
What's that?
What do you mean, what's that? Maybe your older sister can tell you.
Wow. It's a video game.
What the got?
See, they
Here,
can't even
take
tell.
these.
They can't even tell.
Okay, what is
There
it?
he goes using Carafun.
Yeah! You guys want to try it? What? You're not.
She said no thanks.
You're not gonna-
With a setup like that, I do not blame her. She's smart.
They're camera shy, so I guess it's gonna be me and Adam trying out the setups. There's 3 different ones. And I kind of wanted you guys to help me pick which one.
Blah.
That sounds great.
Didn't you say you wanted karaoke?
What?
Remember?
No.
That moment when the parent has a better memory
never
for what
even
the kid
wanted it.
asks for a birthday than the
She
kid
don't
does.
even remember it.
Yeah, you did. It was a while back. All right, get out of here.
He had to
days
save
later.
himself
I
the
guess you get to hear me and
embarrassment
Adam
and
try
tried to
them
make
out.
it seem
Let's
like she was
go.
the liar.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been broken hearted.
Kids know what they want, man.
Let you go.
You know what?
See,
It
he's having
sounds
fun
great,
though. He's
though.
having
Yeah.
fun. You don't hate karaoke, Linus. There you go. There you go.
Remember when I said there were 3 options though? Let's talk
Held that
about
note
the
out a bit
all-in-one
longer than you
packages.
needed
When you
to, but
first
it
look
was
on Amazon,
solid.
you will be inundated
Right.
by hundreds of options that are all variations of the same 5 or 6 products being sold by a myriad of alphabet soup drop shippers. And from the research we did, most of these systems fall short in one way or another. A big one is just how proprietary so many of the wireless mics are. But we think we may have found a good one. We were turned on to the Icario Shell.
For that money, though, you could have gotten. I should make another video doing for that budget and setting up my own karaoke setup. Because you can go to like one of these stores and buy some used, you know what I mean? You could have got like one passive powered speaker and then like a powered mixer. You know what I mean? Well, one passive speaker and a powered mixer. And it would have sounded leagues better than that, honestly.
LS1 by a Reddit user named David O_PGH.
Maybe not better than
And
the
he seems to
Sony
have put the
speaker. I think
entire
the
Reddit
Sony
karaoke
powered
community on
speaker
his
is
back,
the best thing they
supporting them
have
with
for this.
endless knowledge and recommendations. He responds to like every thread. Shout out David. It's people like you that make this world a better place.
This really
Yeah,
is the whole package. It's a portable powered speaker with 2 wireless microphones and a place to store them. A 10.1-inch touchscreen running Android 13 that is preloaded with, get this, karaoke apps.
That makes sense.
Right on the main
Carafun right there. Yeah. But it's Chinese. It's like Korean or Chinese and something.
menu we have YouTube, which is actually just Mozilla Firefox, but don't worry about that. That just makes it better than being just YouTube. And Carafun, which we'll talk about in a little bit. While it only has 2 wireless
that's
inputs,
what I
we can
use,
plug a
huh?
wired mic into the back for 3 channels of audio, along with auxiliary in and out, HDMI out, and we can run our own songs off of a USB drive.
The microphones sound great with strong directionality to prevent feedback, very little latency, great range,
Unlike many karaoke singers.
and very little handling noise.
I am sorry, Linus, but I do not believe you. I do not believe you. Those mics look like. Oh, I don't know. What's the word? I was gonna say dog water.
There's no cables to trip over, and while you can still surprise yourself with how loud the thing is, I don't have to worry about blowing up my home theater system when someone drops a microphone or messes with the settings. Of course, there are downsides. The components here, they are not repairable, replaceable, or resellable. So when the
Look at
battery
those
goes on these
mics.
mics, and they will be gone. And unless we can access the bootloader on this Android tablet, which, I mean, if any community is gonna do it, it might be the karaoke community. They are crazy dedicated, but you can't count on that. Let's try this thing out.
I want it that way.
So that's the clean original mic mode.
And then we can go to karaoke.
Hello.
Whoa, that's just a lot of reverb.
That's a lot of reverb.
How about super?
Can you not turn down the reverb on there? See, yeah.
Okay, this one's called profession. Not professional, but profession.
I want cartoon.
Oh my god. What's monster? Oh my god. Hello. Hello, children.
The speaker quality on this thing?
When are you gonna use those effects for karaoke? Aside from the massively overpowered reverb, you know, when are you gonna use? I mean, like, I've maybe used the pitch shift effect on my mixer like once, and not even. I think I was just playing around with it. But I think there was like one instance where somebody was doing a song that actually had like a
Not
pitch
great.
shifter.
It's loud.
It's acceptable.
Between the mic and the speaker, it handles your voice better than it handles mine.
I wonder how much of that is to do with the speaker itself or if it's the microphones. I imagine the microphones would usually be biased to be good across a broad
It's the
variety of
microphone.
voices.
But
It's
feel
the
them.
microphone.
They are very light.
There's not a lot going on in here.
Hey, they put the charging ring all the way around the base.
That
so
is
it doesn't
pretty
matter
cool.
who put them in.
You just chuck them in there and then.
And turn them off though, because
That's
yeah,
cool.
because otherwise that'll happen.
That's cool. That's
but you
actually
don't have to worry
pretty
about
decent.
it happening to your
Especially
speakers.
if you're not going
That's
for
true.
like a a nice setup. That's cool.
You heard us mention Carafun earlier. It's really, really cool. An amazing service with a library of 61,000 plus tracks of high quality remakes of songs with accurate lyric timing, adjustable background vocal levels,
Yep.
key changing to suit your voice, easy queuing of tracks, and like 400 tracks for free just to test out in case you don't want to shell out $10 a month for the subscription. But honestly,
Right.
just paying $10 for one night of karaoke, that's kind of worth it.
This thing is honestly great. And
Yeah.
one of the coolest things is you can bring it to a party and be doing karaoke within seconds with no one needing to be taught.
Yeah.
At $280, it's not cheap, but it undercut the price of our quality DIY setup. So yeah, sure, you could go with a cheaper all-in-one system, but this, actually a pretty compelling package.
There is a third option that bridges the gap between an all-in-one
Yeah.
and a DIY, most-in-one type setup, if you will. The one we have today is from Soundtown, but also there's like another company that makes the same thing. I think it's kind of another dropshippy situation. But unlike other solutions,
Soundtown is terrible. Soundtown is terrible.
this has HDMI pass-through, which means it will work.
Yeah, again, I am just grilling him. I am a professional karaoke jockey and stuff, but I just, you know,
seamlessly
I
with the
just
rest
like
of
to
your
grill.
setup, and converting
This
your
is
signal
my
to
alley.
digital
This is
will
my alley.
lower the risk, not eliminate it.
Like I said,
of damaging
Linus is
your AV
always
setup.
grilling other
So if you want to
people's
hook up to
setups.
that instead of getting a dedicated PA speaker, maybe try it.
At around $100, this thing is a great deal, coming with 2 wireless mics that don't sound half bad, and if you want, you can grab some cheap mics and plug them in via the 1/4-inch jacks on the front. Sadly, they're going to be on the same 2 channels. Whatever.
It should be okay.
You're all singing the same song. And thanks to convenient HDMI pass-through, this could be the easiest solution of any we've seen so far.
All right, let's try it.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
Yeah, so the quality is not the highest, but it's simple. You have the cables probably already, and you just need a laptop.
There's no
Okay, so it's really just an interface. It's really just a mic interface.
doubt in my mind that the Yamaha mixer blows away the other solutions.
If I was gonna host it, and
That's pretty. Yeah. You're saying that the actual professional mixer blows away the Chinese knockoff? No way. No
Use it
way,
in my home,
Linus.
100%
I'm just
the
grilling.
Yamaha.
But this is for kids to use.
And I don't trust them to be able to deal with this
Yeah.
when it does get messed up, and also you could damage stuff with it. Like-
Just hot glue the buttons in place.
yeah, and have fun reselling your Yamaha mixer.
I think it might be Soundtown, population me. The quick change AA batteries, that's pretty appealing compared to some proprietary battery solution.
You can plug in more microphones. So it is adaptable, and if you do keep the mixer for other reasons, or you have another mixer, you could split out and have 2 inputs anyways.
To your point,
I forget, what was the price he got? How much did you get the Soundtown for?
Is from
Dude.
is from Soundtown, but also there's like another company that makes the same thing. I think it's kind of another dropshippy situation. But unlike other solutions, this has digital.
This some cheap channel.
He doesn't mention how much he paid for it.
I think it might be Soundtown. That's pretty.
Microphones. So it is adaptable, and if you do keep the mixer for other reasons, or you have another mixer, you could split out and have 2 inputs anyways.
To your point, if it was for me and it was something that I knew I was going to be there to configure, I would absolutely go DIY.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is great.
It sounds so much better.
And
Linus is a
you're-
smart guy. Linus is a smart guy. I'm glad he realizes that. You got to go DIY. Because, I've seen videos where Linus like makes like home theater setups from like used speakers, and that's what you should do. That's what you should have done with this, honestly.
You're gonna be able to use it for other stuff. You could use it at your desk for streaming and stuff like that. Like, with that said, if you're kind of willing to spend the extra $300 for like 50% of people in this world, I would say this is a great option because you also get a speaker. It's all one compact, easy to use system. It's pretty.
That has its pros. Like you can bring it, easy setup. But I mean, you're doing an at-home karaoke setup. If you want to enjoy it and really sound good, you know what I mean? Like that's not gonna cut it.
Pretty appealing.
But like I said, it's cool for bringing around, taking to the parties and stuff. Not doing much. Just karaoke. Just bottom line karaoke.
If I was moving around or I was like street busking, look at this. It's got the little like strap thing on it.
Yeah, comes with the strap too.
Regardless of which setup works
Comes
best
with
for
a
you, we
strap?
hope you guys learned something
Who's gonna
today.
carry that thing on their
Like
hip though?
this message from our sponsor.
Vessi.
Okay, that's pretty much it.
Weather Vessi off.
Rabbit hole.
All right. I am actually it's a positive time. Decent. But I am actually a huge fan of Linus Tech Tips and stuff, So what am I going to rate his what should I rate his setup? Well, the DIY was probably better. You could have done better and stuff, you know what I mean? Probably like maybe 7. I want to say a 7. That's being nice too. 7 out of 10. For the party karaoke, it has its drawbacks, but that stuff is a 4 out of 10. And then for the SoundTown piece of equipment and stuff, run it through your laptop. That's, you know, almost like, you know, it's pretty simple. It got some decent mics, you know, you don't want to spend too much. The SoundTown setup was probably, you know, a 6.6. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 and stuff. But if you had gone just a little further and got the Shure SM58s, that would have sounded leagues better. Shure is, you know, top of the line and stuff, and even their bottom mics, like the SM58 wired and stuff, would have gone a long way and stuff. So yeah, guys, there you guys have it. Actual karaoke DJ reacts to Linus Tech Tips. I wonder if he sees this. That'd be great. That'd be crazy if he saw this, because I have been a long time fan of Linus Tech Tips. I watch his videos all the time and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.